So, Tomas, we had a very interesting discussion about nation building.
Yes.
What was your takeaway from the discussion, you think? What is the biggest message we want to share with our youth?
What's interesting was that the audience were made up of young people still in school. And they have a lot of ideas and questions that are very practical. Like what's going to happen to them afterwards? Where is architecture going? And I'm sure what is going on in their minds was, did they make the right choice in career? So at least we explained to them, and they saw in the panel we had developers and architects together, which gave them really, a view of something that they cannot really see anywhere. I mean, in the schools, unless their schools have something like this. But this is a great venue for that. And in terms of nation building, we saw that's the future of the nation. Those students over there. And so I tried to really explain to them what I'm doing to build the nation, and it's not just the usual nation building slogans that people give, but rather and giving them practical projects, things that experiences that they can take with them.
And the mindset, we were talking about it, it kind of expressed itself in our own dialogue about kind of this, I don't know if I want to call it shyness, but maybe a reservation of speaking out. Did you sense that from our audience?
That is common even with my junior engineers or junior architects in my own firm. And I have to tell them, look, if you don't speak now, it will lead to the following consequences for this project. And I always tell them, and so I spoke to the audience like they were people in my company, and to talk to them and say, look, you have to internalize it. You can't just receive everything, stimulus from the outside, and then react to it. You have to internalize it. You have to ask, why? Does this make sense? What am I doing? Why am I putting up a building? For whom? For what?
Being more critical in their thinking.
Yes. And so that when they do something, there's thought, and then the process, has more meat and more critical thinking.
Because that's the biggest challenge, I think, amongst the new generation, or this current generation, in trying to build the future of the Philippines and reflect our story.
Exactly. I guess it's worldwide. And in fact, I joke that these students would rather maybe text or IG or Twitter something if they had the choice rather than speaking out. So that has to be worked on. I guess the ability to speak out and to put their thoughts to be more cohesive. That will really get them places. In fact, I mentioned that one of the things that they need to do is really learn how to interact with others and how to make their point. Get their point across. And that's the difference. You can have two very, very good architects or two very, very good engineers, but it's the one who knows how to deal with other people, who knows how to really explain things, who's passionate, who has internalized what he or she wants. That person is going places. Versus another one who doesn't really is smart and understands everything.
Must be skilled as well.
Is skilled, but doesn't really know how to get the message across. Then that becomes a problem.
Yeah, so that's the key message here, is to empower and encourage people to be more part of it, take an active role.
They have to take an active role. So, and to really be pragmatic about it. Really see it and understand not just what they're doing, but seeing everything around it, the whole project, which somebody, a fresh graduate or somebody who just passed the board won't really be thinking of. They'll be thinking of, well, everyone's in the same boat, and they're given this job, and then that's it. They instead of, some people say clock in, clock out. I say they eye scan in and they eye scan out nowadays, but that's what they do. And then after that, they stop thinking about the project. But you can't have that if you really want to succeed.
Yeah. Well, this is a good advice. Thank you so much, Tomas.
you.